the Carolina Panthers. After all the hype, it's finally time for football as we're underway in Super Bowl 56. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Xavier Howard up to make the tackle.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards and a Panther first down. 2 carries for him now on the opening drive, both for good yardage.
And based on film study, they thought that there was a chance to spring him more than once for some pretty good yardage in this game.
And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From just shy of midfield, Bridgewater. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Bridgewater. Complete to Bryant. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
As I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, and he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina, with the first touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Panthers take it right down and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Try the right side here. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Second and 2. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Bridgewater. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all. And actually
trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's a 2nd and 7. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. And he fires one that's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for third down.
Under team.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line. Watch the twist. Check 52.
Back to throw now on first down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Looking for his running back, and he's got it.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Looking to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Bridgewater to throw it. Open man is Samuel, complete. That one goes for 36 yards.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. They'll run with McCaffrey. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Watch it.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
At the 50-yard line.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a fourth pick. And it's third down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. 2nd and long. Trying to lay one up deep. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
He was covered by Jackson.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It's a loss of 4 on what ought to be the final act of this first half. The Dolphins will send out the punter now. So these two teams will head to the locker room as we hit halftime in Super Bowl 56. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 30. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
You better be afraid of me.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Bridgewater now. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and say, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Balaj. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run it with Balaj. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll run here with Balaj. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. They'll set up a throw. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
While you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards, they're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go,
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And it's up through the goalposts. It's 17-10. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 30-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. On the ground, this is Williams. A big play there for the Panthers. 61 yards that time on the ground. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. They'll come out in the pistol. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Williams. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It's now 3rd and goal.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. McCaffrey, and this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
2nd and 1 at the 34-yard line.
Now a handoff looking right. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Balaj. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Again, it's Balaj. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a First down. Keep the sticks moving.
Let's go. 70 Andy. Check.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. Dancing to his left. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Check 50. Check 50. Check safety. Check safety. Check. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. 22 yards, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute... And nothing but daylight ahead. The 30. A big play there from McCaffrey. 63 yards on the ground. And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll run on 1st down. Jefferson. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. To throw, Bridgewater. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. From the gun, Bridgewater. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this one is right through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down. Right back to him on first down. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They'll look to throw.
And they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23. They come up on a 1st and goal, and most likely 4-down territory as they need it. And he is in as they have tied it late here in the final minute of the 4th quarter.
And now we've got a tie game after that touchdown. And you and I both know what that means. Extra point. In this situation, this little time left takes on some extra emphasis, doesn't it?
It does indeed. Now inside the final minute, can they get it and hold on? Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Fire the mic. Fire the mic. Got you, boy. I got you. 5, Mike, 5. Put it 2, check, over. Put it 2, check, over. Check 3, check 3.
Here's Bridgewater. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. An absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
too.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
The extra point is good, and on the final play of the game, they walk away with a victory. And the Lombardi Trophy has a home in South Florida.